Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate it. This week I'm going to be working on a 4-color puddle pour with some awesome metallics. I am extremely excited on how this pour turned out. Stick with me through the end to see the end result on how this one turned out. Okay, and I've gone back to the puddle pour this week because I really enjoy how random puddle pours can actually be. I chose all metallics this week, so I'm going to experiment with a few things on cell activator with color combination, and we will see how this one shakes out. And now, as many of you know, I'm a big fan of purple with this metallic purple, but also this DecoArt blue is brand new to me, which I thought was just gorgeous. It's a very pretty color that worked out real well in combination with my purple. And I'm going for a bit of a spread look. I know I'm gonna just spread this around later on, but I wanted to try to get equal distribution, give or take, with all my colors leading into the swipes later on. Okay, going in with my third color, which is the metallic Cobalt blue, which I just love. I wanted to go for more equal distribution across the canvas than anything, knowing that later on I would spread my colors around to be a combination of puddles, as it were. So again, more equal across the canvas to get good coverage on my actual canvas, to make sure that I had paint everywhere before my tilts. And I'm also quite liking the color combinations to begin with. The blue, purple, and cobalt blue with this new Peacock color by DecoArt is really kind of cool. This DecoArt paint, again, I had never used before, is a very good paint. I would suggest stopping by your local store or wherever you buy your paints and pick up a bottle just to give a test run with, as it gave a very nice contrast in dark color that I needed on top of that purple. So again, this DecoArt Pearl is what I would suggest for this type of thing. And notice finishing off my puddles with the last of my pearl before I begin to swipe. And before I forget, all of my paints are mixed with about 1/3 of an ounce of North American Floetrol to help me get my lacing effects later on, and also Artist Loft pouring medium with my paints as well. So the combination was about 2/3 pouring medium to 1/3 Floetrol, and the rest was pouring medium, leading into my swiping here. So as I got going with my palette knife, I was a bit concerned right about here that things were getting too muddy, and I needed to figure out how to make this work long term. So I stuck back and I wanted to just get every puddle swiped through, maybe a bit slower, to again get good color across the canvas and not want just a big old mess to have to swipe through and figure out later. And as much as I love my metallics, I think they react the weirdest to color blend or color combination in my experiences, so that leading into my swipes here with my Floetrol that will give me my lacing in a second, you're going to see that as I lead into my swipes with, again, North American Floetrol and a bit of additive for the lacing effects, that this white paint on my palette knife begins to swipe real well, then all of a sudden just disappears into the abyss of what that is, that murkiness, but continued to make lacing, which I thought was kind of cool. So from here I was like, well, I've started, I can't stop, let's see where this goes. And as just mentioned, that initial lacing swipe off the first bit has just gone away entirely. So I found it very interesting looking back on this video that every time I swiped, it looked great initially, then just went away into the murk of all my colors. So you know what, it actually did stay on top, and you can't see it very well through the video, but there is lacing across the board on each swipe. So again, want to cover my canvas as best I could across the entire thing, getting as much lacing in place as possible before my tilts happen. And I am working with a 12-inch by 24-inch canvas which is fairly big for what I do typically, and there was quite a bit of paint on this canvas, so I needed to be careful initially off the feeling of where the paint was on my canvas. I wanted to take my time and just feel where that weight was on the canvas before I began to tilt, which is why things are a bit slow off the beginning here. But as we get into the tilts, I was seeing some nice stretching with my lighter colors in the top left corner towards our left, looking at it down, and it began to make some pretty lacing and selling effects with all that metallic, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, once I was happy with how things looked initially, I went for my first tilt here on the bottom right corner. So my lacing in the top corner I wanted to keep and wanted to dump this corner first, which allowed me to basically reset. And again, because there was so much paint on the canvas, I wanted to slow down, just be cautious and be careful of not stretching too much too quickly or losing too much color where I want to color in the end. So this is actually turning out fairly pretty and a very nice color combination with my purples and dark blues, and what began to make a very neat teal color. And this angle here gives out maybe a more true color look of what it was looking like from top down compared to the front view of my cameras. And now I was quite happy with how things were looking regarding the lacing and patterns I had with my color combinations. So I didn't want to tilt forever here and wanted to basically dump off this extra purple I didn't need in the bottom corner to have that brighter light teal color accent the piece in that top corner before I finished up my tilt here. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the like button to help this video spread to more people that may enjoy it with this kind of content, and I would really appreciate that support, which means the world to me. As I wrap up this tilting here, I was very happy with how the colors looked. Again, the color patterns themselves, initially I was very scared with how they looked in that murkiness, but again, metallics, they are one of the stranger colors I really enjoy working with, that give off a very cool pattern in the end, depending how you work with it. So here's the end result of a bit of an overhead shot of a close-up. And again, seeing that lacing, you couldn't see initially that, just like I mentioned earlier, blended right into the murk of the paint, but also created some cool lacing and cells, which I thought just looked gorgeous. So this is probably one of my favorite pieces I've done in well over half a year. I really enjoy metallics as colors in general, but also the color blends I got with this piece were just great. So again, DecoArt Peacock Pearl is a very neat color. I would consider it going forward at any time. So if you have enjoyed this video, again, please consider clicking that like button and supporting my channel. I would appreciate it. And any feedback regarding my pour in the comments below would be awesome, so thank you. Now, thanks again for watching this pour. I appreciate your support with my channel. And if you have enjoyed this one, here is my final overhead shot of the entire pour. If you have enjoyed this pour, take a quick look at this playlist coming up here with more of the same type of swipes I really enjoy doing. Again, thanks again, and we'll see you soon.